Hi, I'm Chris Frankel, Director of Programming for TRX. Welcome to TRXtv Featured Movement. This week we're going to show you how to do the overhead back extension, which not only focuses on a hip hinge, but it's great for any athlete that works in any overhead positions. Featured movement this week is the TRX overhead back extension. This is one of my favorite exercises when performed correctly, and probably one of my least favorite when it's performed incorrectly. So we're going to break it down into two parts and then put those two parts together for the most effective TRX overhead back extension you can get. So the first thing Liana's going to do is she's going to find her end range. She's going to go with her hand straight up over her head, and there's going to be tension on the TRX, not because she's leaning back into it, but because she's driving those shoulders back while pulling those shoulders down. So now she has that entire posterior chain turned on, from fingertips all the way down her back into her core, into her glutes, into her hamstrings. That's her end range here. I'm going to let her bring her arms back down in front of her, and now she's just going to lean back, almost like she's going to do a back row. Bring yourself back up. Hold that straight plank position here, and then she's going to break at the hips. It looks a lot like the hip hinge, but the feet are much further towards the handle, so it's more of a loaded hip flexion extension. Drop yourself back one more time. Back stays nice and straight and comes up by going into hip extension. And now we're going to keep that nice long plank, stay extension in the posterior chain the entire time, and arms go straight up overhead. Still tension on the TRX at the top. Bring yourself back down and initiate this movement just like you would with any other back exercise. Think depression, retraction, scapular J's, and drive those hands up. And even at the top, looking to keep space between shoulders and ears. One more time with just coming up to a Y or an I raise with that core turned on. Great. Bring it back down to midpoint here. Now we're going to put those two things together. She's going to break at the hips, and then as she comes up, she's going to drive the arms up overhead, all as one movement. She had a little bit of break in it there, so she's going to come down. One nice smooth movement up. Nice. Do a couple more reps. The whole idea here is to maintain good stability in the shoulder girdle, the core, looking for that break to take place in the hips. Nice and smooth, hold at the top. Now nice and slow, come down under control. Keep everything nice and tight, breaking at those hips. Look for a little bit of stretch there at the bottom, re-engage, think depression, retraction, nice. Bring those hands up, extend through the hips, hold to the top, and relax. This is a great way to fire up that posterior chain, and also a great way to teach people to have overhead position where their core is turned on and they're not just letting that weight run through their axial skeleton or just rest on their skeletal system. That's the featured movement for this week. Practice it a few times. This is a great exercise for you. Thanks for tuning in to TRXtv Featured Movement. Make sure you check out the weekly sequence and come back next week for more TRXtv.